Hello and welcome back to the Makeshift Pod, Season 2, Episode 2. That's 2 twos, and we say 2 twice. I've just said it.
Oh my God.
More than
I
twice.
didn't even think about that.
That's 3 triple 2, which also is the 2nd of February 2002.
Oh, what the fuck? Not 2002. You literally just said 2002.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not.
I'm just chatting shit. Oh, what are we doing?
It's the second episode of Season 2, which means the letter for today's subject.
Oh yeah, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, is A. And what did we discuss was going to be the topic for A?
So essentially, the issue with doing what we're doing right now and only choosing topics that is with the corresponding letter of makeshift,
Yeah.
is we've only got a limited number of letters.
Uh-huh.
However, to overcome this problem, on A, we can do anything. Smart, I know. So last week, what did we look at?
Musical theatre and
So
mysteries.
You had a little interview with Maddie.
I did.
How did you find that?
I thought I went quite well. I like my interview techniques.
You just really liked yourself.
Not my interview techniques, but I liked how it felt, like interviewing somebody. It felt quite nice.
Did you feel like the man?
Yeah, I felt like I had a lot of control.
Did you feel like True Geordie?
No.
Did you feel like Parkinson?
Don't know who Parkinson is.
He was like the big boy interviewer back in the day.
Well, I'm not. No, nothing like
I think
that.
that was his name.
But it was nice. It was fun to have a different sort of dynamic and like actually interview someone. I actually really enjoyed it, and because it was my sister, I wasn't that nervous.
And it was like a new thing for the pod.
It was,
really.
yeah, exactly, and it's banging views. So
Banging
for podcasts, I think it's not
It's our
as
most viewed podcast.
no TGF one
Is
has
it
got
still?
more. Yeah,
It's got a
about
better watch time
150.
though. So
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's the more
So-
successful one for sure.
yeah. My dad watched.
Really
Yeah.
good.
So
Shame the audio
he's now a
shit.
viewer. So
Okay.
watch what you say, alright?
Yeah. Oh man, I'm always watching what I'm saying. Acting like I'm a criminal.
And then we also spoke about some mysteries. So we looked at the Loch Ness.
Yes.
We found out it's catfish. We looked at
Spoiler.
the foot serial killer.
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
And we looked at the Malaysian Airlines disaster.
Yeah, but today, what are we looking
Today-
at? Tell us what you're going to be talking about.
I'm talking about the incredible true story of Salvador and Cordoba.
Oh, so it's not like a personal story.
No,
Oh, I thought it was a personal story. I was getting well excited. That's fine though.
sorry to disappoint.
No, it's fine as long as it's
I'm
a good
sure
story.
this story is a lot more interesting than anything I've experienced in my life.
I mean, don't put yourself down. But I will be talking about the power of social media
Oh,
afterwards.
Interesting.
And like the effect it's having on us and our generation and like the next generation to come and certain points within social media that just baffle me.
right. Well, I look forward to it.
And its effect on society. Bit of a boring subject, but I think it's going to be quite
It's
informative. So.
very hot right now, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, make sure to keep watching and let's jump into the story of Salvador. Okay, so the story of Salvador Alvarenga and Ezequiel Cordoba. In the intro, I forgot Salvador's surname. So I just kept saying Salvador.
Isn't his name not Salvador, his surname?
His name is Salvador Alvarenga.
Alvarenga.
And
Who is he?
Ezequiel Cordoba. Right.
Okay.
So, Salvador is an experienced fisherman in his mid-30s,
Yeah.
and he lives in El Salvador, Mexico.
Mexico.
Which is quite funny, isn't it? Being called
Mexico.
Salvador and you live in El Salvador. That's
Yeah,
like you being called Kent Dunmore.
Well, yeah, sure. But he probably was named after the
Bromley
the place.
Dunmore.
Big in Dunmore.
Well, I think his name's actually Jose Salvador.
Jose Salvador. Okay, fine.
And so, in November 2012, he set out on a 2-day fishing trip.
Weird. Who likes fishing?
And he couldn't do the job alone, so he paid $50 for a young fisherman called Ezequiel Cordoba to join him. Right?
Ezequiel.
Ezequiel. Ezequiel?
Is he from The Walking Dead?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No, he's not. He's
Yeah.
a real life person.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So, yeah, they set out on this fishing trip, right? And this fishing boat that they're on, it's picture like a canoe,
Yeah.
like a 7-meter long canoe.
Uh-huh.
So there's no roof, there's no cabin. All they have is one motor to to power the whole thing,
Yeah.
and a refrigerator to
For
put the
food.
fish in.
Sure.
Yeah. And before they set out, there were reports that a storm might occur.
Mm-hmm.
But in like this part of Mexico, you can do 1 day's work of fishing and it will support you for a week. So they were like, fuck it, let's risk it, all right?
I think I've heard this.
So they sail out.
Yeah.
So they're doing the job and everything's going to plan.
Mm-hmm.
And then at 1 a.m, the storm hits.
Brilliant.
And
Fucking great.
the conditions are so bad that the boat's at risk of sinking, right?
Yeah.
So they cut off everything they've caught. They throw all their supplies overboard, so it makes it more maneuverable, so the boat can move easier. And they start heading back to the shoreline.
Mm-hmm.
However, they've travelled out 70 miles into sea. 75, sorry.
75
75
miles.
miles out into sea. So it's 6 hours to get back to the shoreline.
What the fuck? In a storm.
Yeah. So it's looking pretty rough for old Salvador and his equal.
Yeah.
Now, they sail for a fair few hours and they're within 15 miles of the coast, okay?
Yeah.
So they can like start to see the shoreline.
Yeah.
And that's when the motor dies.
Great. Of course it would. I mean, it's written in the stars, them to fail, isn't it, really?
It's sitcom stuff. It really is.
Yeah.
So, how's your luck?
I was going to say, not a lot of luck
Yeah.
in this scenario.
So, great. They're fucked. Yeah?
Yeah.
They've got no oars. They've got nothing to paddle with.
Yeah.
They don't have a sail on the boat.
Yeah.
So they're literally just there floating and drifting.
And
because the storm, the wind's so strong, it's pushing them back away from the shoreline.
Fucking hell.
However,
It's a true story.
yeah.
Okay.
However, they've got a radio on board.
Yeah.
So they contact their boss and they're like, we're fucked. Come help us.
Yeah.
Told them the location. And the boss like, right, I'll send a search party out for you. And then the radio battery died. So they had no way of contacting anyone.
Right.
It was just these two on a boat, this tiny little boat,
Yeah.
and they're slowly drifting away from the shoreline.
But did they already get the search party looking for them at this point?
Yeah.
Okay, so people are looking for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, where am I? Sorry. You can cut all these like.
No, it's fine. We're going to keep it in. We're going to keep it raw.
Oh, really?
That's how we like it. It's a podcast.
Okay. I just need a moment to realise where I'm at with this story.
It's fine. Take your time. We're all painting a picture in our heads.
Okay. Right. Okay, I know where I am. So they're trapped.
Yeah.
They're trapped on this boat. And they're slowly drifting into the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
Uh-huh.
Dan, do you know how big the Pacific Ocean is?
Well, I know that 80% of the Earth is water.
Okay.
So going by that, I presume it's pretty big.
So after only 5 days, the wind blew them 280 miles into the Pacific Ocean.
Oh my God.
The Pacific, just to give you an idea of how big the Pacific is, it covers a third of the Earth's surface.
Fucking hell.
And is
Jesus
it's
Christ.
bigger than all of the land put together.
Wow.
And apart from a few little islands here and there, it's essentially empty.
Fucking hell.
So it's quite big.
Oh, that's our worst fear, man, being
yeah.
stranded in the Pacific Ocean. Well, it is now, anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, they're literally surrounded by water. All they can see is water.
Yeah.
It's just them two alone in the ocean on this tiny little boat, right? And where the boat's so small, there's like no chance of like a plane seeing them really.
Yeah.
And they had no way.
Sorry, I'm so tired.
They had no way of signalling for help or anything like
They've
that.
got like a mirror.
All they had to their disposal was waving
That was the guy.
like that. Please help us.
Right.
Yeah, so they didn't have a flare gun.
Yeah.
Nada.
I mean,
all
it's
right.
pretty shit not to have a flare gun when
Yeah.
you go off fishing for a few days.
Yeah.
You should really carry something. It's fine though.
Yeah.
It's,
They could have prepared a bit better. to
Yeah.
be fair.
Well, look, it's fine.
So for food, they had to catch fish or birds that landed on the boat, and they'd just have to eat them raw.
Would you say that small boat? Are we
Yeah.
talking like paddle boat or like a speedboat
Like a little
dinghy?
canoe type thing.
Oh, yeah, it's a canoe.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking hell.
And it's like only 7 meters long.
They did well to survive a storm in a canoe.
Yeah. He's an experienced fisherman,
Yeah.
old Salvador, right?
You could say he's used all of his luck already and he's completely and utterly fucked.
You could say that, yeah.
But that's just a theory. Just my...
Again, fear. Sorry.
Yeah, it's my theory of how this is going to play out. It's
For water, they managed to obtain some plastic bottles like that were just floating in the ocean because,
plastic,
litter.
fucking
But
scum.
They were quite lucky that people were littering water bottles because they were able to collect rainwater in the
Right,
water bottles. But sometimes it wouldn't rain for days.
Fucking hell.
So, and you can only go a amount of days without water.
How long were they there for? I suppose that's part of the story.
Well, you'll find out, my friend.
Yeah.
So, when they couldn't drink rainwater, they had to drink their own piss or drink turtle's blood.
Turtle's blood.
Yeah, apparently that's a plausible substitute for water if you're stranded at sea. So if you're ever stranded at sea,
Turtle's blood.
yeah, and where they're slow-moving creatures, they're quite easy to catch as well.
Oh no, little
Poor,
turtle.
poor turtles. You're thinking of like the Finding Nemo turtle.
I saw a blue planet Earth.
Yeah.
The little turtles in, I don't know what city it was, but we saw it in Laura and I, who's on the sofa, the bed, by the way, special guest, in Cardiff. We saw Planet Earth, and it was showing us how like the city lights were distracting them from where they had to go because they follow the moonlight.
Yeah.
So on the beach, they'd come up and they'd like follow the lights into the city, thinking that's the way to the water,
Right.
and like all the cars would have to like swerve them, and like they get caught in drains and stuff. It was really sad. So thinking of eating one of them is just really sad.
Yeah, that's what you're sad about, not these two poor men.
I mean,
it's the poor turtles, honestly. So, like, imagine this, right?
yeah,
You're stuck on a boat. This tiny boat is so claustrophobic, and you only have one other person you can talk to, and you don't even know this guy that well, right?
they're not friends.
You just paid him $50 because you need help on this fishing trip,
Fucking hell!
and
I bet they become the best of friends.
you've got no. Imagine how long days would feel.
yeah,
The only entertainment you have is like trying
Each
to
other.
fish, or like napping.
or like wanking.
You'd like, they might have
that
experimented.
wanked each other off.
Maybe. I didn't.
Anyway,
he
yeah,
never
yeah,
mentioned wanking. I'll be honest.
Let's carry
So
on.
yeah, about 4 months on, the conditions really start to take a toll on him.
Yeah,
and
as it would.
Especially Ezekiel, right? And
He's the main. He's a big man. No, Ezekiel's a
he's
pussy.
a young bloke.
Yeah,
that,
okay, yeah.
yeah. Oh, sorry, my fucking thing's just.
That's right, mate. You take your time. Take your time.
Yeah. So having only one person to talk to,
Yeah.
and he started to go insane.
I was literally about to say I would go mental.
Yeah, and
At
I
that
do
point.
not blame him whatsoever. Okay, and he started to become suicidal. He was having hallucinations.
This is Ezekiel.
Yeah, and he even tried to throw himself overboard when sharks were like circling the boat.
I mean, is it that hard to try and throw yourself overboard in a canoe?
Obviously, Salvador didn't let him.
Oh, right, okay.
And
Silly Ezekiel.
yeah,
Mm.
what's he doing? So yeah, they were like sharks circling the boat, and he tried to
Fuck.
throw himself in.
Oh.
So it's not going great. So this is 4 months of like, it would just be so awful, man.
They spent 4 months of this rate.
Awful. This is 4 months in.
Fucking hell.
4
I thought it was like a
months.
few days.
No, 4 months.
4 months. You never mentioned 4 months, bro.
I said 4 months on.
Oh, sorry.
So you need to listen, mate.
Sorry,
Alright?
mate. I'm half asleep.
So he was suicidal, and he soon after became very sick because he ate a bird, and it was a dodgy bird. They later found out they opened the bird's stomach, and inside it was like a poisonous sea snake.
Oh, the fuck.
So Ezekiel had eaten a bit of this bird, and the bird was contaminated. So he became very, very
Fucking
sick.
hell.
And then Ezekiel just refused to eat and would die of starvation.
He did die of starvation.
Yeah.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
Yeah, man.
This is rough, man. What are you putting me through?
So, yeah, Ezekiel died. Rest in
So-
peace, Ezekiel.
Oh, I know what this other man's gonna do.
Salvador
Got a big meal on his hands now.
kept his dead body on the boat and started to talk to it and would have conversations with Ezekiel's dead body for like a matter of days. But then something clicked and he like realised how insane he was being and just threw it off
So he
off
didn't.
the boat.
So he didn't eat it.
He didn't eat it. Well,
Could've.
he claims he didn't.
Yeah, claimed.
Yeah. So now he's floating in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. He's utterly alone. He must be the loneliest person on the planet at that
Yeah,
point.
yeah,
Like
Well,
in the middle
literally.
of the emptiest place on earth.
yeah,
And it would be so quiet as well.
yeah.
Just think it's just water is all you can hear.
Bro,
And
You'll think it's sick.
where he was like estimated to be, it's literally one of the quietest places on earth.
the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, because there's just nothing but
yeah,
like
nothing
waves.
but- yeah. Oh, was it calm?
Yeah, it
Mm.
would be.
Mm.
And so sail and ships like very rarely sail through.
Yeah.
But Salvador claims he's a cargo ship
Yeah.
came and started sailing towards him,
Oh fuck. Okay.
and this is it.
Did you
Salvador's
wait
going to get saved.
all this time?
Think you're there for months and months and months, and there's nothing's going for you. You're just literally drifting in this boat. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. You're completely hopeless. And then a cargo boat comes towards you, and then he's waving at this boat, and it just sails past him.
Oh my
And there's
god.
like 4 people on the boat, and they just wave at him. So let's fast forward now. 11 months. in.
Seriously, how is this guy surviving?
Salvador is still at sea, just drifting in the Pacific Ocean, probably moving at about 1 mile per hour, just slowly, on his own,
How does he survive? Just by drinking turtle's
eating
blood
and drinking, like catching stuff. Now, and it's estimated that he had travelled 5,000 miles
Whoa!
in this
11
tiny
months.
boat. Yeah.
Holy
This
shit.
tiny little shitty canoe. He's just been drifting for 5,000 miles.
That's disgusting.
And there's still no sign of rescue. Still no sign of land. It's so depressing.
This is
It
I was going to
so
say this is
depressing.
like. Ugh.
But it's fascinating, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Then, on the 30th of January, 2014,
2014. This is quite recent.
he began to notice coconuts popping next to him in the water. And there were more birds than usual, and they were like landing around him. So he knew land was near.
Land was near. Yeah.
So he drifts for like another 12 hours,
Mm.
and he sees land
Really?
for the first time
Oh my god!
in over a year.
Fucking hell! Jesus!
And then he
Shit's about to
drifts
go down.
close enough to get off the boat and swim to land. And his feet finally touch land for the first time in 438 days.
438 days.
Salvador was stranded, lost at sea for 438 days.
Fuck.
So he goes onto this island,
Yeah. How does it play out from here?
and he finds a house.
Yeah.
And there's a couple that live there, and they take him in.
Yeah.
Now
They just shoot him.
that'd be so sad. So the island he found, right, is it's at the southern tip of the Marshall Islands, right? Okay.
Right.
Now, the Marshall Islands is like this tiny country in the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah. And So this meant from where he set off, he travelled. Well, I say travelled. He drifted 6,800 miles.
Jesus.
Just to put that into perspective, if you went to New York from London
Yeah.
and back again,
Yeah.
that's 6,940 miles.
Oh my God.
So he travelled like 140 miles less than London to New York, twice over.
That's crazy.
So the chances of all of this is just insane.
I was gonna say, like, surely you'll
And-
bump into land at some point.
And this island he come across is like this just tiny little speck in the
Really?
the Pacific Ocean, all right? And like the fact he even managed to drift
That
to
far.
it is unreal. The fact that he even came across it, and if he didn't, then the next place he would have been able to get to land would probably be the Philippines,
Yeah.
which would have been another like 240 days
Oh my God.
going, like basing it off how long it took him to get to that point.
Jesus Christ, man.
So yeah, it's crazy, man.
And he told his story.
And, yeah, so he survived, lost at sea for 438 days, and he was later flown back home to El Salvador, and he was reunited with his family, and he since published a book called 438. And then in December 2015, he was sued for $1 million by Ezekiel's family, as they accuse him of eating Ezekiel.
Oh, no way. Just quickly, I saw a tweet and it was like, Cal Freezy replied to someone saying 438 or something. Is that linked or not?
I don't think
No.
so.
That was just off topic. They sued him for $1 million.
Yeah, because he I think it was when he got the book deal. They didn't
right.
like that,
Yeah.
so I think they were just wanting to get a bit of profits, you know.
Fuck. That's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
So he had to pay $1 million.
I looked at articles and it didn't really make it clear.
Jesus, man. That's savage. Imagine being stranded at sea and these motherfuckers are suing you for $1 million. Jesus. Well, I think a round of applause to him.
Well done, Salvador.
Well done, Salvador. You made it.
Come on, Laura.
That's a long time at sea. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Well done, Salvador. Unlucky Ezekiel. You could have survived. Bit of a pussy, though.
Let's not speak ill of the dead.
No, it's a joke.
Mm.
It's a joke. I saw that more as a story than a true story.
It's a true story that actually happened to someone.
Yeah.
438 days.
That was a horrible joke, wasn't it? Sorry.
What are your thoughts?
I don't know.
Can you comprehend?
No, and I think that's the hardest thing, especially when that story is going to be told to loads of people. I think the hardest thing is going to be comprehending that and putting that into perspective, because people say, "Oh, a year it's evil." Like, you don't think about, like you said, how long the individual days are, because that is a fucking long time in general.
People will moan about doing a long shift at work.
Yeah,
People moan about an 8-hour shift.
yeah.
Saying, "Oh, it's dragging so much." So imagine if you're literally not doing anything but just drifting.
Yeah. Oh my god, bro, that's insane.
I don't know how we found the willpower to
I was
survive.
gonna say, what would I do? Like, if I was there, like, what would I do? I don't know what I'd do.
Yeah, man.
I'd go insane. I would genuinely go
Literally, yeah.
insane.
I don't know how
it's
he's
not nice.
been able to just go back to
Firm it.
life. as
Yeah.
well.
What does he do now? Well, I suppose he's an
Well,
author.
he's like a local celebrity now.
Yeah.
And I think he's just playing up to that. But
Yeah, he could be a great motivational speaker though.
yeah,
Good survivalist.
like I do not want to hear you complain ever again.
Yeah, imagine being in his family. Fuck, that'd be the hardest
Yeah.
thing ever.
She's like, the chicken doesn't taste that nice. Like, bitch.
Are you fucking serious now, motherfucker?
I ate raw seagull for 438 days. I didn't want to
Raw seagull.
fucking hear it.
That's crazy.
So yeah, man.
That was insane.
I hope you enjoyed the story.
Blew my mind.
I hope Dan's editing can make it flow a bit better.
I mean, do you want me to chop it up?
yeah. when there's long pauses, so I'm trying to find where I'm at again.
I mean, I'll watch it all the way through.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'll find the time to do it.
So have you got anything else to say about Salvador, or should we move on to
I think that's
your,
all that
your
can
topic?
be said. I mean, unless you have anything else to say about it.
I don't. I find the story fascinating.
Yeah.
I'm worried that I've made the Makeshift Pod a water-themed podcast now. We just keep talking about how big
Oh,
the ocean
yeah.
is.
Yeah, that's true.
Guys,
That's
there's a
fine.
lot of water.
It's a whole other fan base we can reach out to. It's fine.
We got a niche of like water lovers.
There's no problem with that. There's no problem with that.
We love you, water lovers.
But in the next section, we are going to be talking about the power of social media and its impact on society and just social media in general. Yeah, just social media in general. So
Is social media bad?
find out in the next section of the Makeshift Podcast. Okay, so this section is going to be all about the power of social media.
Tell me about it.
I don't
Tell
know
me.
how interesting this is going to be.
I think it's a very interesting topic
Okay.
because we've seen both sides.
In what way?
We're like the last generation, I feel,
Yeah, okay,
to
yeah.
see life without it and life with it.
Yeah, that's true.
And how so much has changed from it, and
Yeah.
it's changed
Evolving.
everything. It's changed everything from mental health to everyday life. It's a game changer. So please,
Yeah, I mean,
take it away.
that's the first thing I want to say is I'm not shitting on social media. I think it's good for a lot of things. It's good for businesses. It's good for spreading good messages like mental health.
Mm-hmm.
It's good for making things happen, connecting people, especially in things like for charity and things, and like when someone's at a football game and they've got like cancer and they want someone's shirt or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and then this player reaches out and they find the person. It's great, but I don't want to focus on that. I want to focus about why it's fucking us up as a generation.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be fucking up the generation.
So you are
next to
specifically
come.
looking at the
So
negative
I'm gonna be
side
looking
of
at. I'm gonna be looking at the negative side of it. Yes.
of it.
But yeah,
Of it.
just a few interesting things about social media.
Well, that's
And yeah,
click right in.
mainly the way it affects society. So little stat.
Just a little stat.
In 2018,
Mhm.
the world consisted of 7.593 billion people.
Okay.
Okay, 42% were active social media users. So 3.196 billion people
Use social
active on social media. Okay.
media. Okay.
And I think it's interesting looking at this because we grew up with social media. I wasn't on it, but like Bebo,
Yeah.
MySpace. I did fuck about with Bebo.
Yeah.
Um,
You fuck with Bebo.
Yeah,
Heavy.
yeah, I tried.
I
MySpace,
remember seeing my sister on Bebo.
really,
And I was
Bit
like,
awkward.
I wanted Bebo.
Really?
And the mum was like, no.
oh, your mum was like,
I was like, no, you're a kid.
no, but the reason why I bring up Bebo and MySpace and stuff is because that is now out of date, and we haven't seen anything really go out of date until Facebook.
Yeah. And that's like on the verge, isn't it?
Well, this is what I'm trying to say is my sister is a great case study because she's 15 now,
Yeah.
and we're the same generation, really.
Yeah.
But
Thereabouts.
yeah, but there's such a difference in terms of the way social media has an impact on her life and my life,
Yeah.
and how old she is a massive part to play. So she doesn't have Facebook because
She doesn't have it at all.
none of her friends do.
She
none of
never
her-
had it
never had
at
it.
one point in her
No.
life. Okay, interesting.
Because now she's only just got really to the age where we all started getting Facebook, but now there's Twitter, Instagram,
When did
Snapchat.
I feel like I got my Facebook, I think like year 7.
Really, that's quite
Yeah.
young though. That is quite young for Facebook. Maybe not. But my point is that she doesn't want Facebook, just like we didn't want MySpace or Bebo because there was something better out there. Like Facebook was our Instagram
Yeah.
and Twitter. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's constantly evolving. That shows that there's a constant evolution in social media. But one of the biggest right now, and like the go-to for I think most people, is Snapchat, right? In terms
Yeah,
of communication, actual communicating with friends.
Do you not
putting
feel like
yourself
it's on
out
the
there.
demise?
Well, no, I don't think it is. Honestly,
Okay.
I don't think it is. I think it's the most powerful social media in terms of communicating. Instagram, fine. You can't communicate on Instagram.
In terms of messaging people.
Yeah, messaging people, sending stuff to people. Like,
Well,
I feel like people that don't really use social media a lot will still use Snapchat, like me.
Yeah.
Like, I still have a use for Snapchat in a way of communicating something with Laura. I want to send her something funny, I'll do it on there. Whereas I think there's a lot of other social media that requires a lot more attention and dedication, like Instagram, like Twitter.
Snapchat's like the toilet of social media.
Yeah, but because it is a toilet, everyone needs a toilet.
Everyone needs. That's very true.
It's used all the time by everyone. But so there's. Let me just have a look. I've got some interesting points here. Blah 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 blah.
Speak for yourself.
So because of that, Snapchat is a way of always talking to your friends. And
Yes.
if you don't speak to your friends on there, it might get to a point where you're like, are they even alive? So Laura texts her friends every day on there. It's always like a thing. And we'll get to streaks in a minute.
Yes, streaks is a big thing I've heard.
This big streaks is one of the massive talking points in it. But Laura didn't know if her friend was even alive. Her friend group didn't know. Yeah, but you didn't. You've sort of thought something might have been
It
up
crossed your mind.
because she didn't Snapchat everyone in the morning.
Where did I hear that?
Is that foreign to you or is that normal? Because if I didn't speak to you for a few days, I wouldn't think, fuck, he's dead. Charlie Wells, I don't speak to him for months on end, and we're still like good friends. Do you know what I mean?
And I'm assuming she wasn't posting anything or anything.
But there's friends that I have that I don't speak to for months on end, and I know they're alive.
Yeah, but your closest friends. He's one of your closest friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no. But I'm not trying to. It's not a dig at you. Like, I'm not trying to get at you for it. But my point is, there is a generation. There are people that, like, if your closest friends don't message you for one day, it's like, fuck, what's wrong?
Yeah, what's up? Yeah.
And it's become a way of communicating, a way of the whole cogs in the works of a friendship group that you have to always speak and have to always communicate. It's like you have to be on it all the time. Otherwise, if you drop off for a minute, you're fucked. You're kicked out.
You're missing out.
Yeah, which is when streaks come into play. Because when you talk to people every single day, you get a streak, right?
Yeah.
You get what's called a streak. And this was once a way of telling who your best friends were. So back in the day when Snapchat first came out.
When you could see other people's best friends.
Exactly.
And it was like,
and that caused a lot of shit.
Up to?
That caused a lot of shit, right?
Yeah.
But also streaks were integrated in Snapchat.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, I've been talking to matey boy over there for like 20 days now. Look at this streak. Fire! Like, sick. But now it's more like a high score on Snapchat.
That is bizarre.
Yeah, well, we'll get into it. They award special emojis just to entice people. So if you have a streak for 100
so Snapchat
days...
actually...
Oh, yeah, it rewards you with a special little emoji next to somebody's name. So
dope.
the 100 emoji for 100 days. A mounted emoji for an extremely long streak. Just things like this. Okay. Laura has a streak, one of my friends. And how long do you think is a big streak?
A week.
But like a streak for like streakers.
All right.
How many days? Like a number of days.
I'm not a streaker,
Okay.
Laura's not a streaker.
Okay.
To make that clear. I don't know, like a month.
1,280 something days.
The fuck.
Yeah. And well, that's Laura's biggest streak. That's the norm. That's the norm.
That's what? That's... Is that 5 years?
Now in year 13.
About that, yeah. 4 or 5 years.
That is bizarre.
Every single day. You cannot go a single day. So Business Insider did some research with 17 teenagers.
Okay.
And asked what streaks meant to them, right? And why they become the most important metric in social media. So a common theme throughout the study...
I don't agree with that.
What?
The most important. But
Well, it is
carry
to
on.
these people.
I think Instagram likes.
Well, yeah, I suppose, but would you...
I think that's the thing people value the most on social media. likes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway.
One of them.
Yeah.
I've just copied that off the website. So it's
Don't
Business
bait yourself
Insider.
out.
No,
right.
that was their research. Their
In
search
Business
was
Insider's
what do
opinion.
streaks mean and why have they become the most important metric of social media? That was their title.
All right.
So a common theme throughout the study was that streaks literally determine how good friends you are with someone.
Yeah.
So if you have like a longer streak, you're better friends with someone,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to me, that obviously, I think for a lot of people, that doesn't determine how good you are friends with someone.
No.
Like I wouldn't.
Not at all.
Do you know what I mean? So that is what it is. That is what it means to someone who uses Snapchat all the time. So, and these are quite young people they've asked. But a 15-year-old said having streaks makes you feel more popular.
See, that just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, but that's what streaks have now done to people. So Snapchat, I believe, is making everyone rely on their service in order to be accepted in society. And they are playing on the social...
all social medias like that.
Yeah, well, they're playing on their social state. And I think this is more personal with friendship groups because like with Instagram, you want likes and shit. You can take a picture of your ass and everyone in the world will like see that and stuff.
Yeah.
But streaks is more personal. Like it's your friendship group.
Yeah.
If you don't have streaks in your friendship group, you're going to get kicked the fuck out and have no friends. Like it's so much more personal, I believe. I think so. They're playing on that, and they know that as well. And they're playing on the social state in order to profit themselves and their company. Which, like you say, is a lot of other social media platforms. But I think Snapchat does it in a way that's like fucked because it's like it's such a household thing, like streaks, and it has such devastating consequences if you miss them out.
I have no idea of this phenomenon.
Oh, it's
like,
weird.
Could there be a situation where there's a friend group and Becky and Kirsty, they've got a streak,
Yeah,
and their streak's 102 days, right?
yeah,
And Becky thinks Kirsty is her best friend,
yeah,
but Kirsty has a streak with Gertrude, right?
yeah,
And their streak's 130 days.
yeah.
But I thought you were my best friend, Kirsty.
Yeah, the longest
What
streak.
the fuck?
Cool. No, but I don't think it is for you. But for this case study for 14 and 15-year-olds, because I spoke about my sister's age. That is what it is like. Because the thing is, like with you, Laura, you're like, you've dipped into that whole Snapchat thing with all the streaks and stuff, but you're nowhere in near as deep as some people like my sister's ages are. Like it's literally that they've always been brought up on social media to the day they've had their first phone is Snapchat. I remember first seeing Snapchat on people at a party. It was that 16th party. I always remember it. And it had the little, because you had a camera button on the side of your phone.
Yeah.
And then I see this little white thing. I'm like, what do you need that for? Like, it's crazy. And I saw people using it. I remember exactly where I was. It was a girl used to do kittens with Charlie, and we knew her, and she had a 16th party. We were like 15. Yeah, 15. 15. I was introduced to it. And it was so foreign. It was like, what the fuck is this? And it took me
I always
years.
remember seeing it on the App Store, and I was like, I don't really get what it is.
Yeah. Well, it was the same as Twitter when it first came out, but it's the same as every social media.
Yeah.
But I think now it's in its prime in terms of getting its claws in to a generation which is younger and younger than you, Laura, because I feel like you won't agree with the stuff we were saying because it doesn't apply to you.
I just think that what that is the extreme, and there's a few people that are like that. But I think even like people's Maddie's age, Maddie like has said to people, I don't want streaks anymore, stop sending me streaks. Grace that I dance with, she doesn't want streaks anymore. She's Nancy's age, which is a year above Nancy. So I think that what you've got and your case studies are the extreme, very extreme, like psychopath.
I think it's American.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that is its biggest audience is America.
Yeah.
It's a US study. So
I think that a lot of people make it out to be a lot bigger than what it actually is.
But when you have a routine of sending someone a picture with the word for 1,200 days, that is a fucking... It's like brushing your teeth for 5 years.
Is that the world record?
No, but that must be triple.
Oh no, that was yours.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. But for you, that doesn't even care about it that much. 1,200 days, that is literally like brushing your teeth every single day. It's like a routine. It's part of your routine. And that, whether you say or not, is a massive thing. is a massive thing to us looking at that, don't you think? It's fucking
yeah.
amazing looking at that. But to you, it's not a big deal. And that's why it's so interesting, because it's been such a part of your life and it doesn't seem a big thing to you. And I know these things seem extreme, but even that is extreme. I know it's only one little bit and you don't really care that much, but why is it still there? We had this conversation earlier. Why do you still streak if you don't care?
I don't send streaks though.
Yeah, but you send a picture of your face in the morning to every one of your
Yeah, but
streaks.
most of them I talk to. Most of them. I think that, I don't know, I just think that they're becoming outdated.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, maybe it's a phase, and now it's come to the end of that phase.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just Laura growing up.
But that's what I think it is, because although you mentioned Nancy's friend or whatever, and like my sister, they do a lot of shit. They're quite like they're quite active, and like something like that seems like just trying to get out of that routine or whatever.
Right.
But for most people, I think it's like I think they struggle more, and it's like I don't think anyone. I think most of the people that say they don't want to do it anymore will still do it because it's such a way of life.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like a comparison to like
There isn't. That's the thing.
a funny thing you'd do with your friend like every day. But I can't think of anything.
What I think this is, it's made it so ingenuine to speak to your friends. It's made it more like a chore to speak to your friends.
Yeah.
Um,
That's a bit feels. Well, I doubt it'd ever feel like a chore though.
It does sometimes.
Oh really?
Like when I actually sat there and sent the word streak, I would wake up in the morning, turn over, get my phone, take a picture of my door, my bedroom door,
Oh wow.
write the word streak, go down and like, oh my God.
That
So,
is.
it did become
Yeah,
a
yeah.
chore. So that's why I stopped, and I lost loads, and I didn't care because I was
Yeah.
like, I can't be bothered to do this anymore.
Wow.
So that's why
It was the
I
first
went
thing you did.
Yeah, like literally, I'd wake up, check my phone, and that'd be.
yeah, but that's
Wow.
what this case study says.
Yeah,
It says
I had no
people
idea.
would wake up early for school just to send streaks.
Wow.
But yeah, I just think it's become like a way of life.
So what's next on the agenda?
I had a lot more on that, but
Oh right. Oh no, if you got more to say it, please.
No, it's cool. We pretty much covered most of it anyway.
Okay.
Let's see. The next generation of how social media can affect the next generation of kids. I haven't really got much.
Can you say
down
that
for
again?
this.
Sorry.
It's like the next generation. How is social media going to affect the next
Okay.
generation? So
The
already,
generation that don't know any different.
yeah. Well, because the difference between my childhood and my sister's childhood, like
Yeah.
we're different ages, like by 6 years, and that, like they're completely different ways of being brought up. So like
Yeah.
when I was her age, like even now still, I was still like going out and doing shit on the weekends, like climbing trees with like Harry and Charlie, and like just doing stuff outside, and stuff online was very much taking a back seat. Whereas
Yeah.
now it's like the reverse. So things outside are taking a back seat, and like all stuff is like online and stuff.
Yeah.
So
Don't see kids out anymore, do you?
Well, exactly.
It's weird.
So how do you think? How far is this going to go? What do you think the next generation is going to be like?
For the near future, I think it'll keep going in the same direction because
Yeah.
a kid's got an iPad in their hands by the age of like 3 now.
But do you want to have your kids with an iPad in their hands?
Not particularly. I don't want them. No, but the reality is, it is happening, and that's why I think it'll keep getting worse. And like, even like, say my younger cousin, I remember him being on like Instagram and stuff at like really young age, and like doing like share for share and like for like and all that sort of stuff. And
Yeah.
people did that in our age as well.
I think that's completely gone now. Don't you think?
Yeah, I think that's stopped. But it's such a bizarre like, what are you doing it for? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. What about you, Laura?
I think it'll go full circle. I think that it'll get to like the generation where it was kind of in your life but not, and then because I was on the bus today on the way here,
Mhm.
and I heard like a 4-year-old like, "Dad, can I have your phone?"
Yeah.
if I was on a bus when I was 4, so I was with my nan, she'd be like, oh, look at the trees. Like, I feel like I wouldn't want, if I was in a car, like, with my children, if I was on a bus with my children, I'm not, if they're like, Mum, can I have your phone? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
You're out.
You're right.
But they shouldn't have the phone at 4 though. That's what gets me.
But, like, can I have your phone? Like, not
Oh,
my
right,
own phone.
right.
Yeah, I can see how it's tempting though. If you've had like a long day at work, say, and then you got to look after your kid, and like it's easy, isn't it? It's easy to just give your kid the phone and it keeps them
That's true.
occupied. They enjoy it.
It's like
It's
crazy how when I used to borrow my mum's phone, I used to play Snake on it,
Yeah,
and it's like how far it's come. I know that's technology.
It's just like a toy, isn't it?
Yeah, but now it's not like a toy. I mean, what I was going to say next, is like, when do you introduce your kids to social media? Because the social media you experience at 13, whatever, like going into year 7, is completely different now.
Yeah,
you'll see ISIS beheadings on Facebook.
Yeah,
like, so how is that going to be implemented in the next generation?
How is it going to be? I think I got to hope parents are getting more clued up.
Yeah,
because I feel like when that like transitional period and kids are just doing like watching all kinds of shit on the internet and their parents aren't monitoring it at all. Like the amount of like shit on YouTube and like kids are watching like say the Paul Brothers.
I just remember the video. You know, it's like a girl on her iPad and like 2 dogs are humping. And
Yeah,
it's like,
Don't tell mom.
Don't mom.
Yeah, exactly, like that sort of shit. But and it was the same with us. Fucking 2 Girls, 1 Cup.
Yeah,
I never seen it.
yeah,
but
yeah.
like we were watching fucked up shit.
There used to be a website where you used to see like fucked up shit, and it was like loads of stuff. You could search like weird things and it'd come up.
And
it's crazy.
And how are the parents meant to know?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Because they can't just sit and watch. Like you can't just watch your kid 24/7. Make sure they're not.
Then I feel like if I had been introduced to social media from like very, 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 very young, and like when I could first ever remember, like the generation now, then I feel like it would be worse. But because I had a bit of common sense and a bit of like practical knowledge from doing stuff outside and like just having a normal upbringing, like I'd know when to stop and have like a perspective on how fucked up shit is.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're raised on social media and like internet, like this is just the world for you. It's like living in a world.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas the internet for us is like detached. I think with this generation, it's like part of you, and it always will be. What do you think?
I think it will be like people that are brought up with it will eventually get bored of it. I think by the time they reach like my age, your age, because they've grown up with it. It's like what you say, what they say about if you let your but like teenager drink, when they get to 18 they're not going to go mad because they've experienced it and they've had it.
Yeah.
Yet they might like go out, they're going to go out, but they're not going to go crazy when they go out because they've already been like brought up with it. So I think it will get to a point and they'll be like, oh, I can't be asked anymore.
But with alcoholism, that example, you see the effects and like the backlash when you drink really young. Like they'll get hangovers and stuff and you won't want to do that again. But with social media, it's like...
Yeah, I just think they'll get bored.
Do you think? I think it's ever changing.
I'd
say maybe. I know I'm getting bored of it. But it's not. It's because it's never been like a necessity for me.
The only thing with the comparison to drink, people will be using social media from like as young as like 6, 7.
Yeah.
And it's not the same with drink. So when it's like a part of your life for that long, and you don't know any different, you won't think, am I wasting my days on here? Or the value you put on social media, because you put a value on it your whole life. Like when does that switch up, you know?
Yeah. I think as well, when it comes to like my own kids and stuff, I was talking to Laura earlier, and it's like, in your downtime, if you have no hobbies or anything, or if you don't ever want to do anything or go outside and do shit, like, you're not just going to sit there. You're going to sit there on your phone or on social media.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to like push your kids into like actual practical activities.
Definitely.
Like even like
sports.
Yeah, when I'm like bored and stuff, I'll play I know like video games isn't a great one. Like, video games, but like I'll play FIFA or whatever
gamer.
for like an hour, or like I'll like, edit, or like I'll play the keyboard and piano and stuff, or the guitar or something. And that's pastime for me because I was just in wonder, and I think it is different with girls. I think girls are completely like the majority of girls. Like I remember I was always in school and I was like, what do you actually do in your spare time? Do you remember? Is that just me? Like, what do you do? Like,
because when we'd like be playing football and stuff.
Yeah. What are they doing?
Or like on COD or FIFA.
Are they just gossiping and talking and stuff? And it's like, I think that's why I think girls are probably more prone from a young age to social media, because it's like the thing they just turn to when they're bored. But that's obviously being sexist. But I just think that's the way it has been. Maybe not the way it's going to be, but I think that for what I've experienced anyway, what we might have experienced from school and stuff. But yeah, I think that's the way to prevent it, and like again gain that perspective on how long you should be on social media and stuff as a child.
Oh yeah, it's interesting how Apple have introduced the whole screen time thing.
Yeah.
And you have the option to lock yourself out of it. Oh god, gonna get exposed here.
Yeah.
Are we all gonna look at our screen time?
Yeah, me and Laura did it earlier.
Mine's not that bad.
Yeah.
How long? Give me the figures.
So what do you have to look at iPhone?
I can't find it.
So I'm on my bubble game longer than I'm on social media.
Yeah.
Bloody bubble game. So addictive.
Yeah, I don't think you're that bad on social media, Laura. Like,
Because I hardly ever post on Instagram.
no, like that's the only thing I connect you to is streaks. Like that's it.
I
don't think you're in
Tell me.
that generation.
So bubble shooter screen.
Like go in the last 7 days. Last 7
where
days.
do I find that?
Last 7 days.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Right, how many hours per day are you on the phone? Let's start there.
How many hours per day?
Yeah.
Ooh.
On average.
4 hours and 51 minutes.
5 hours and 39 minutes.
3 hours and 39.
Yeah, it's about right. I'd say it's about right.
And how much of that social networking?
What, per day?
For the week? Oh no, sorry.
Yeah.
The weekly total, I mean.
For the week, it's for social networking.
Yeah.
Mine is 10 hours, 10 minutes.
Okay.
What about you, Laura?
15 hours, 15 minutes.
Oh, I'm on 10 hours and 50 minutes.
Mm.
But is YouTube a social network?
I think they put it in, and I don't agree with that.
I just don't agree.
I don't.
I see it as like a Netflix.
Yeah, it's entertainment.
Yeah.
It's not a social. You don't fucking message your friends on YouTube. Like,
all right.
Okay.
Now let's break down the social media. So should we start with Twitter?
Yeah, he has got most used, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, my Twitter isn't even on here.
So the most used in the last 7 days, Twitter, hour and 49 minutes.
1 minute.
So yeah, doesn't have Twitter.
All right. Mine's 3 hours and 55
3 hours.
minutes.
Yeah, I feel like you're a Twitter person.
I do like my Twitter.
Yeah. My Instagram is 2 hours, 12 minutes.
2 hours 51.
2 hours 52. So
Yeah, I think it's all right.
So what we've established.
Wait, hang on. Snapchat, 56 minutes.
You're just going to bait me out on this.
No, I think it's interesting because you don't have Twitter. No, because I think Twitter and Snapchat are the way to determine what
Well,
what
my
you prefer.
Snapchat's 35 minutes.
No, because we're the same generation. Huh?
My Snapchat's 35 minutes.
Yeah, 56.
Mine is 4 hours and 53.
4 hours.
That is over the week.
What's your messages on?
Messages is 4 hours.
Okay,
Mine's 2 hours.
Yeah.
My most used YouTube,
Same. What's your YouTube on?
4 hours 15 minutes.
6 hours, 41 minutes.
Mine
But-
is 4 hours 8 minutes.
Really?
But
Fucking
my
hell.
most used is Bubble Shooter Extreme.
Bloody bubble shooter.
Bubble shooting
Iconic.
game, man.
Wow.
Wow, yeah, it's interesting,
Yeah.
to say the least. There's so many like notifications. I get 298 notifications every day on messages.
Really?
They're right at the bottom, notifications. But that's enough of that.
Enough of screen
think.
time. It's interesting breaking down the numbers.
Yeah, I think it's
What we've found out is I think I use social media the most, but you two use your phone more.
Yeah, well, we're always talking.
Yeah, that's what it'll be.
But in terms of having a bit of time on social media, I've got so much more I wanted to talk about, but I won't go through all of it. This is in 2016, so bear in mind it's going to be a little bit dated. But in social media, the average daily time on YouTube is 40 minutes. Average time on Facebook is 36, which is obviously not right anymore. Snapchat is 25, Instagram 60, and Twitter 1 minute every day. So a lifetime, that's 5 years, 4 months on social media. And so there's things you can do in 5 years and 4 months is climb Mount Everest 32 times.
Well, I mean, it depends, doesn't it?
Well,
I
these
mean,
are
I
all
don't
like-
think Anne Hegarty's climbing Mount Everest that many times.
If you could climb Mount Everest, watch the whole series of The Simpsons 215 times. Fly to
Anne
the
Hegarty
moon and
could do
back.
that.
Fly to the moon and back 32 times.
32 times?
Yeah. Also, I'm just going to end it with some celebrity quotes on
Go for
social
it.
media that don't actually have social media. So we have Sandra Bullock talking to the Times.
Bird Box.
We're not representing our lives truthfully. Like when you're yelling at your child, you're not taking a selfie of you being a horrible parent. No, you're waiting for the perfect selfie. Do I look thinner now? Do I look great? It's the false projection of one's life.
Yeah, that's the thing that I dislike the most.
Yeah.
Is the people would rather look successful than be successful because of Instagram.
Yeah.
And it's the whole like faking your life and not being true to your feelings, and the forced positivity that comes through stuff like Instagram and Snapchat.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy all the time, blah blah blah, and just a load of bollocks.
Yeah. I think.
And like Drake has a song called Emotionless,
Yeah.
and he has some lyrics on it. Whilst we're in celebrity quotes,
Yeah.
and I really I rate it a lot. Let me just get it up, because it's just so true. Drake really spilt the tea here.
Emotionless.
Yeah. Right, here it is. First fucking thing. So yeah. Missing out on my years. There's time when I wish I was where I was back when I used to wish I was here. That's not about it. Scrolling through life and fishing for praise.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get that?
Yeah.
We'll understand him. Opinions from total strangers take me out of my ways. So when a stranger comments and is praising you, and you feel good about it, right?
Yeah.
But this guy's completely irrelevant to you. Like, why is that so valuable to you? And then, and also, like haters. Also talking about haters, and but the reality is it's probably just an angry kid, but it will like fuck him up, you know.
Yeah.
And it's all so silly. And then he also says, I know a girl whose one goal was to visit Rome. Then she finally got to Rome.
Oh yeah, I've heard this
And all
song.
she did was post pictures for people at home.
Yeah. I've heard
And-
that song. I actually,
Yeah.
I remember listening to it. It's a
And I
recent song,
think,
isn't it? It's a new song.
Like there's people I know that will take so many pictures on holiday, and then they will post, their Instagram will look like they live this life where they're always on holiday.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the reality is you're just in an office.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he also says, I know another girl that's crying out for help, but her latest caption is "Leave me alone."
Yeah.
I know a girl happily married till she puts down her phone, and that whole giving off this fake,
Yeah.
this facade that you're
Yeah.
in this happy marriage on social media, but the reality is you hate each other, and yeah, it goes on.
Yeah, but that's what what you said.
The camera's not on.
post the most.
The camera's not on.
Oh,
The
Wait, yeah, it
couples
is.
that-
Is it?
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't see. Sorry, carry on.
The couples that post the most are the unhappiest.
Yeah, because I feel like they've got to get some sort
Yeah.
of
So that's what gives them joy in their relationship.
Yeah, they've got to get acceptance because it makes them feel like they're
Yeah.
doing something right.
And how social media will mold your identity.
Yeah,
So I feel like,
that's why I don't
Like-
want to post stuff on.
like you say,
Shit.
couples that post a lot, like that's like they don't know what to do with.
That's
Yeah.
exactly. Or
When
I should take a
it-
picture, post
yeah.
it. Yeah, just make it look sick.
Anyway, carry on.
But yeah, Sandra Bullock. Oh, Emma Stone. It's that. These are all very like
MJ.
what we've just been talking about. But it's like, it's that need to be liked, the need to be seen, that need to be. Oh, fuck off! Pages is so weird. Oh,
The
my God.
light, as if it looks.
Fine.
Just keep going.
I'm nearly done anyway. It's that need to be liked, that need to be seen, that need to be validated in a way, through no one that you know. And so people ask the question about fame or what it feels like, and it seems like everybody knows what that feels like. It seems like everybody's cultivating their lives on Instagram or different forms of social media and what pictures look best of their day. Again, that one best picture of the day represents nothing of what their day was actually like. That's a note that I wrote down. In fact, this is why I think when I see something on social media,
This is what you think.
Yeah,
This is a Dan Dunmore special,
Quote.
everyone.
yeah. This is a Dan Dunmore quote. You can quote me on this. All I think is when I see an Instagram post of like something that's so obviously fake,
Yeah.
I think you've manufactured this picture so much that it's not even about where you are anymore. It's about the promotion of where you are and how you want people to see it. Like concerts,
Why? Yeah. People
Like-
that will film the whole concert and
or
put on Snapchat.
Post Malone put all these pictures up of this concert, and all it is like the
Just
first
phones.
5 rows of like,
Yeah.
bro, your
I-
front row of Post Malone, and you've got a phone in his face.
I'll take like the odd video.
Yeah,
And because I want it in like memories and stuff, and I can look
Yeah.
back and be like,
Yeah.
But it's people that will literally film the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I
you're
got-
watching this through your phone.
I got stressed out at Kyle because I was like doing the Instagram stories, I was thinking like, okay, which ones should I put at the start? Which one should I put in the middle? What
Yeah.
text should I put on? Like, how many should I do? And because like,
Yeah.
I wanted everyone to know I was there.
Mm.
But I'm gonna do an experiment.
Oh. Okay.
I was thinking of doing this permanently, but I'm gonna see what it's like for a week.
It sounds quite hypocritical
Um,
because we actually made a video about seeing Kyle.
I'm gonna delete Snapchat and Instagram for a week.
Oh.
Yeah,
Why not? What? Why not everything?
because Twitter I feel like I get news from,
Oh, okay.
and that's a lot more like topical.
All right.
I don't go on there to socialise.
I was thinking of making a video like a week without social media.
Well,
I feel like it's not as groundbreaking.
That can be Friday's video.
I've already done it now, so
There's a video coming out Friday, and Dan's gonna tell you he's gonna do a diary log
okay, yeah,
every day,
every day.
and he's gonna say how it's affected him, if it's helping his mental health, if
Yeah.
nothing's different, and then you'll see that Friday
Should I get rid of Twitter as well?
if you want to go all the way.
I think if you want it to be,
Just feel like Twitter is like keeps
if
me
you
in the
don't
need
use
of the
Snapchat that much. You're not
Well,
that bothered by Instagram. But
people's
I think-
stories though. Like I'm not gonna know what people are
I
doing.
think
yeah, but you're just contradicting.
a week without Twitter, like that's
That's hard.
exactly. This is the test, Dan. Can you go without it?
Also, I don't know my logins for any of these, so
Oh,
I am
yeah.
genuinely fucked.
Oh no.
It's not going to be great.
Yeah.
But also,
That'd be
you've
funny.
got to do all the vertical visuals in promo.
Ah, long.
Not like I've
This
done
is why
any
you're
anyway.
doing it.
Yeah. Drop Twitter as well.
Look, I'm not in control of it, but for the video, I think you should, because you might be like, yeah, I didn't really use them anyway. Like it's just a bit of dead video, do you know what I mean? But I feel like going without Twitter will have the biggest impact on you,
Well, I've just
and that's
done
what
it.
I think. He's done it.
I
Oh
got-
my god.
I can't do Facebook. I'm never on Facebook. I do that to keep in touch with my family. That's the one I always keep. I was thinking of
Dead anyway. Yeah.
getting rid of social media, but I never use Facebook apart from like groups and
I
friends and
use
stuff.
Facebook more than Instagram.
Yeah, it's probably same. Shit.
Wow.
I literally feel
didn't
like-
expect that.
Yeah. I'll
Uh,
put that in the video, like the starting point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be good. Is there anything else?
I think that was all I had to say on the matter. I have more about streaks, but that was more natural to do it that way.
On the whole celebrity quote thing, whilst we're still in that area,
Yeah.
someone asked Jamie on Twitter why he doesn't have Instagram.
Yeah.
And he said, dead social media. 6x6 square of fake images. So
Yeah.
he doesn't have Instagram.
But okay, sure. I mean, yeah. I'm so conflicted now because I've just deleted it. It feels
I'm
really weird.
curious to see if you actually go through.
I'll go through with it. The one hard thing is going to be on Friday at work, but that'll be when the video goes up because I have nothing to do on my phone.
Watch YouTube.
I'll have to come up with some banging games, but no, but it's going to be weird. You're going to have to keep me in the loop of what's happening though.
No.
Yeah.
No.
No, as in like, are they at the end of the on the video? On
Yeah,
Friday?
I can do like a here's what you missed.
Yeah, and did I really need to see that? Again, this is like a meeting now of vertical visuals,
Yeah.
but I think that was fun.
Yeah.
Like now I would normally
I hope
go
it
on
was
Twitter.
an interesting listen and we didn't just sound like some stupid
Oh, there's
kids.
so much editing to
because
do.
that's what we are. Yeah.
So much to do.
That's the fun part, right? Well, you're not going to be on social media, so you might
That's
as well.
true. I might as well edit. So yeah, no, but thanks to everyone for tuning in. If you did watch towards
Leave a comment.
the end,
What do you think?
leave a comment saying the light went out.
Tell us how stupid we sound.
Yeah.
Leave a comment saying out like a light.
Out like a light. If you got this far, out like a light.
Hey.
Also, Alex Dunmore and everyone at that fucking place. That Michael Caine Awards.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not a thing. They're taking the piss, and I
oh,
got mugged off.
that's so sad.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be Michael Caine. Yeah, you heard on the podcast.
Season 1 that was. A little throwback.
Yeah, fucking little prick, mate.
By the bloody doors off.
He will no longer ever be spoken about on this podcast.
Michael Caine is dead to us.
Yeah, no, Alex Dunmore is dead. I mean,
Huh?
He embarrassed me in front
That
of
is
all my
funny.
fans.
That is funny though. Good goof, Alex. Well
I'm
done.
joking. That's it then.
Let's
That's it.
wrap it
Let's
up.
wrap it up.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you all for watching. Thank you
Can you thank the
for listening.
camera, please?
Thank you, Laura,
Thanks.
for having your input. You can follow us on Twitter.
Can't
Visuals
follow me on Twitter.
Vertical.
No point putting my socials in the fucking description, is there, Scott?
Yeah, there is a.
Oh, yeah, I suppose you have
God's
to
sake,
do that. Yeah.
yeah.
Don't put a Twitter in.
Might
just
as well.
1 minute a week is no point. She never goes on there.
Yeah.
Actually, clickbait. We could. Do you mind just?
Let's not go there.
No.
Clickbait, another social media phenomenon. Anyway,
I could have done a whole episode on this.
follow us on Twitter, Visuals Vertical. Follow us on Instagram, Vertical Visuals, 2 L's in the vertical. Subscribe if you want to see more. And like the video if you liked it. If you didn't like it, dislike it and tell us
Yeah, fuck
where
off.
we can improve.
Why are you listening to this part if you didn't like it?
That's also one way to look at it. Just do one.
Yeah, wasting my time. Not doing it for the fans.
We'll see you next week.
Goodbye.